What's up, guys? It's Oblivious Gamer here. And well, I wanted to talk about Bleach Rebirth of Souls. So, they released 3 character trailers going over Ichigo Kurosaki, Uryu Ishida, and Rukia Kuchiki. The trailers are fairly quick, they're like a minute and something. Very flashy. They do go over some stuff, but again, it's fairly quick, so if you're not pausing it, you're not going to be able to read the information that they're giving us. I think in terms of presentation, these trailers look really flashy, really fantastic. If you're excited for the game, I feel this already makes you even more excited. And like I said, visually I think it looks fantastic. It shows us a bit of gameplay, so we have a bit of idea of each character. I'm going to go over what we first get out of the 3 characters and then dive into the trailers of each character. I do want to preface that it feels they're taking notes from fighting games when it comes to trailers. We kind of had an era, and still are, where a lot of fighting games, when they release their trailers, some of them try to do it very short. There's 20 seconds of intro, 40 seconds of gameplay, and then another 20 seconds of outro, which makes the trailer 1 minute and 1 minute 30. But there's just 30 to 40 seconds of actual gameplay. And half of the trailer is just intros and outros when there's nothing going on. So it feels like they're kind of following. You have 20 seconds of intro and then 20 seconds of outro and then 40-ish seconds of gameplay. Well, I'll dive later into that. So we have some brief summaries of each character. First, Ichigo Kurosaki. He's supposed to be a close-range fighter who is easy to use and wields Sangetsu as a substitute Soul Reaper. And we see that with his movesets, a lot of his moves involves him being up close. Then you have Rukia Kuchiki. She has plenty of resources to adapt to her opponent in battles, which we see with a lot of her abilities involving using Haro. At least what he's shown us, she is fighting more using Haro than, her Sanpak tool. And finally, we have Uryu Ishida, a proud Quincy who pierces enemies using a variety of long-range attacks. He has a bow, he creates his arrow, and he's just usually better as a long-range fighter. Now let's dive deep into these trailers. So first we should go with Ichigo. First, the trailer starts around the 20th seconds. We see that they go over reverse, just in general, because that's something that we see a lot. Reverse action is the key to offense and defense in this game. In addition to the effects of the normal reverse action, Ichigo is given various enhancements such as a boost in the basic performance, changes in some actions, and an increase in damage from the Kikon move. And then we immediately go into his special flash attack, a move that attacks while charging forward, so we do see him charging forward, and when successfully executed, the attack can be continued if an additional input is made during the attack. So using the special flash attack, you do get the ability to open, if you manage to hit it, you open up your opponent, and you're able to continue if you make an additional input. Then we have a spiritual pressure move, which it's wielding an attack used by wielding Sangetsu that momentarily makes Ichigo invincible. An additional powerful attack is activated when it is successfully hit. And finally, we see Reverse Fate, which is him using his Awakening. And his Awakening is his Bankai. Ichigo's performance, speed, and defense dramatically increases, as well as the number of additional special flash attacks, allowing for more aggressive attacks to be carried. Basically, he gets a boost in a lot of his stats, and is able to do additional special flash attacks, so nothing too big here. We see him going crazy for a bit, but that's the nature of this trailer, which I went over. Very flashy, certain areas with a lot of cuts and a lot of stuff going for just 1 minute, so you're looking at something and boom, it's gone if you turn around, or if you just blink. But overall, like I said, does it hype people up? I think it hypes people up the way that this is built. Is there information? It does have some information, though again, like I said, you probably have to pause it, look, and then continue if you really want to absorb what the trailer is introducing or explaining. The next trailer is of course Rukia Kuchiki. Also 1 minute. We have around 20 seconds of introduction, and then finally we get to see Rukia in action. We see her being able to use her sword at the beginning, but immediately uses her signature moves, which most of her signature moves seems to be using Hado. So we see her using Shakaho, with a little bit of a long range ability, creates combos in various forms of power with the Shakaho by holding the input. And we see her constantly firing at Renji. And then we have her spiritual pressure move, which is again another Hado. This one is Byakurai. Released while stepping backward, Byakurai makes Rukia momentarily invincible, allowing for punishing attacks. We see her like go back, and then she's able to like fire the move at Renji. Then for her spiritual pressure move 2, it's again another Hado move, Sokatsui, a follow-up attack that can be used after Rukia launches and slashes successfully. So it's kind of like a follow-up attack that we're able to see. And then finally she does her reverse fate, in which she can't, at this point, she can't use Bankai yet, so we haven't seen Rukia being able to do Bankai. So instead she releases her Shikai form of Sodeno Shirayuki, and basically it strengthens Rukia's overall capabilities and transform her spiritual pressure moves to complement Sodeno Shirayuki, which we are able to see at some moves, like for example, as we can see, I think the moves that she does with Sodeno Shirayuki right here, because she hits and then it's very quickly, so I don't know if it's a mix of, if it's just Shakaho being overall strengthened, or she's also using Byakurai. Because she does an attack, you see her firing, and then she steps backwards, and then we see an ice peeler comes out, and then she kind of like, that animation seems like she's supposed to launch, she just extends it and hits Renji from afar. So I don't know if it's just a mix. We're seeing like all her spiritual pressure moves just being enhanced and they're just using it in a whole combo, or is this just one move? I think it's more the latter. We're seeing her use different moves and they're just showcasing quickly how like some of her moves just change because she releases her Shikai, which this looks fantastic. Again, very quickly, very short, very flashy. It's like, okay. And finally we have Uryu Ishida. He's a long range character. So the game first starts with his spiritual pressure attacks. Spiritual pressure, Quincy arrow, fires an arrow forward. If the arrow hits the opponent, Uryu uses Hiren Kyaku to move in front of the opponent and does a follow-up attack that fires numerous arrows, which we see he manages to hit and then she jumps multiple arrows. Then for spiritual pressure move 2, we have Seele Schneider. By holding Seele Schneider, Uryu absorbs an opponent's attacks and fires back a powerful attack of his own, which we see him standing in the position with Seele Schneider, and then he just takes the damage only to knock the opponent back, and then finishing him with an arrow. Finally, his reverse fate, it's his awakening by activating Ranso Tengai. Uryu enhances his damage output and the amount of spiritual pressure he can acquire, making it easy to use his spiritual pressure moves. So a lot of these awakening kind of like buffs other characters, and like they gain either, like as we see with Uryu, a damage buff. They're also able to perform, they have more spiritual power, so they're able to use more of their spiritual pressure moves. We saw with Ichigo, he gets like speed and defense in his buffs. Rukia gets like enhancements of her abilities, and then the trailer ends with what I think it's like their ultimate move, or at least for Uryu they put his ultimate move as like to end the trailer. And 3 trailers, fantastic. In terms of presentation, very flashy. I think people are gonna be excited looking at this. They're all gonna be like, wow, look at this, this looks flashy and stuff. There is information out there for people that want to like stop the trailer and read, so that's also good. I think the trailer is alright. Like I said, in terms of presentation, everything is fantastic, but I feel like I always have gripes with very short trailers for fighting game characters. I think it should be a bit longer, putting a narrator there to read what they're saying so you don't have to pause and read it. You can hear what the narrator is telling you. Plus, while the narrator is talking, you can actually show more of like what the narrator is talking or mentioning. So give length to certain parts of the trailer, ending up showing more gameplay. And this is not this game's problem. Like, fighting games have been doing this for quite some time. We have like an era where like short trailers make it hype and then just leave it there. Fighters was notorious for having like 30 to 40 second character trailers. arc system works in general. Like some other trailers, they have gotten better. They kind of have now an idea of how to do some of these trailers, but I know Arc System Works did very short trailers for the new Hunter x Hunter game. If you look at the trailers, they're anywhere from 40 seconds to 1 minute. DNF Duel does like 50-second trailers, maybe a minute if you're lucky. So this is not a Bleach Rebirth of Souls problem. It's something that it's in the fighting game community in general, which has its pros and it has its cons. Like I said, for presentation, it gets the hype going and it does like amazing, but for people that want to see more, be able to break things down, want to be able to check the character more, these short trailers aren't enough. And I think with Rebirth of Soul, not just introducing again Bleach, but also like introducing how they're doing the game, because they're kind of showing us like how some of the mechanics, what characters can do. Maybe add 30 seconds, maybe, give us like a narrator reading or explaining some of the stuff, and during those explanations, as the narrator is speaking, you can extend some of the moves that are being shown. But that's just me. I think in the end of the day, that's not going to happen. These trailers work well for what they need to do, which is hype people, get people excited. But yeah, guys, this was just something brief I wanted to do. Like I said, Bleach fan, skepticism in some areas with the game being an arena fighter, blah, blah, blah. We already talk all about it. But so far, I'm keeping an eye out. I want this game to be good. I want this game to be fantastic. As always, so guys, what are your thoughts? This has been Oblivious Gamer, and I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.